Funerals actually take a lot more planning than I expected. With us using island cuisine for the first time, of course we were iffy, but once they came and showed us their service, their food, we tasted their food and everything, we definitely use them again because their service and food is just awesome.
I'll ride with the horses, I'll swim through the sea, I'll climb to the mountain tops, won't you come follow me? I'll take time to notice all that I see, and after I've come so far, you know where I'll be. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. But life is a vision, that's how it should be. The world is a canvas, and the choices are free. At the end of the journey, where all is complete, they'll all wonder where I've gone, but you know where I'll be. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. Our dreams last forever, for all that we know. The roads come together, and that's where we'll go.
Welcome back to our continuing coverage of legislative session today. The legislature just went back into session. They were 41 minutes late back to work after having a 3-hour lunch break. So really, senators had a 3-hour and 41-minute lunch break today. Let's go straight into session right now.
Madam Senator, you're asking for a motion to set aside Bill 330-35 at this present time.
Yes.
On that motion, is there an objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Senator Joseph Augustine, I'm going to recognize you on Bill 374.
So they're setting it aside?
35.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'd like to first, number one, thank
come it's
you
not
for
casting?
granting us this emergency session on the issue of Bill
not casting.
374 and also with my colleague, Senator Jim Mona's Bill 375. But we were very fortunate in the Committee of General Government Operation, Appropriation, and Housing that the Committee on Rules was able to refer the bill to my committee, both bills, and I have communicated to Senator Moylan, the author of Bill 375, many of our colleagues here had asked that we pursue the public hearing first. And we've received many calls asking that we do have a public hearing so we can get input from the public. That being said, I have scheduled a public hearing on both bills to be heard on Tuesday and beginning at 9 o'clock. And I asked, notwithstanding the House rules, that we recess until Wednesday at 10 o'clock where we can hear both bills after the public hearing on Tuesday.
On
That's
that motion, is there
Senator
an
Joseph
objection?
Augustine making a
Hearing
motion.
none, we are in recess.
Holy.
So sorry we couldn't bring you the actual live feed. Technical difficulties. So what just happened was after the speaker called an emergency session for whatever this emergency was, that obviously wasn't an emergency, they set aside the three bills that were supposed to have been emergencies. Bill 330 by Senator Kelly Taitsino, and I believe out of all of them, if there was any that was actually time sensitive, it would be that one because it deals with absentee ballots. So she had that set aside. Senator Joseph Augustine asked that his bill 374 for the partial primary and Senator Moylan's bill for the full cancellation of the primary be discussed by the legislature after the public hearing, which is happening next week, Wednesday, I think it is. Is that what he said? Tuesday. And so they're going to go back into session on Wednesday for the continuation of their emergency session. I guess that's an emergency. I mean, like if you called the police right now, I guess it would be okay if you said, you know what, 911 operator, let's just recess this until next Wednesday. That's the emergency. That's how emergencies work in the Guam legislature.
Can we get somebody on the phone
Yes,
from over there
yes,
and ask
we
them
are gonna call.
what is going on?
Yes, that's a very good idea. Hold on while we find it. I think I know the number.
This is so embarrassing.
Senator Teresa Lai's office, Patsy speaking.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get a hold of the speaker's office. Maybe, do you have the speaker's office number?
It is 477-2520.
2520. Thank you.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye-bye.
Oh, it says Carlo Branch because that's where he used to work. Hi, this is Troy Torres with Kandit. You know, we're wondering why the speaker called emergency session if the bills that were being discussed weren't emergencies.
1 second.
Thank you.
They're gonna give Chirag the phone, right?
Maybe, I don't know. Hi, Chirag. This is Johnny and Troy and
Ding, ding,
Kandit
ding, ding,
Land.
ding, ding, winner.
Hey, how's it going?
Can we just ask why the speaker made this an emergency session when clearly there was no emergency to discuss?
If you go on our group chat, right? I even attached from yesterday the letters that all three senators sent saying that can you waive the public hearing requirement and call an emergency session for all these bills. So the speaker was just giving them what they wanted.
So it's these three senators that you're talking about, Kelly Taitsino, Joseph Augustine, and Jim Moylan.
Yep. But then I believe over the last, honestly, 20 minutes, we received new information from GC, who's here in the building, they said that they have, I guess, some sort of. I'm just getting everything just now from the speaker. They're having a meeting tomorrow of some sort, so they want to discuss it before they come into a committee of the whole to talk to the legislature. So.
Okay, so is the legislature going to be in session tomorrow?
We're going to resume on Wednesday at 10 a.m., right? 10 a.m. Wednesday.
Next week at 10 a.m. So what's this meeting tomorrow with the Guam Election Commission then?
I think they have their own commission meeting.
Oh, they have their
can
own commission
actually
meeting. I
have
see.
They can actually talk about the two bills.
Okay.
But the speaker was just giving the colleagues what they requested, and even in her response to them, she said that while she would rather have a public hearing and get the public's input before making the decision on how to vote, but she understands that based on the arguments they each presented in their letters, I think we all agree on one thing, and that is time is of the essence.
Okay, so obviously, Chirag, there were discussions that took place behind closed doors or, without the public hearing that led to these motions.
Well, I am not privy to it, and I don't think the speaker is either, because we just finished, we were actually in a meeting with all our interns, but when we were done at 2 o'clock and we walked out, GC just informed the senators that they actually have a meeting tomorrow to discuss certain things. So,
Can you speak into the receiver?
yeah, so GC just informed the senators at like about 2 o'clock, that's why we started a little bit late, that they have a meeting tomorrow, and before they meet, they cannot speak on it.
Oh, no, that's what I mean. So GEC presented this information to senators while you guys were not in session, while I guess senators were just there and...
I was not part of that conversation, and neither was my boss, because we were at an orientation meeting for all our new interns.
Okay.
So
all right.
that all happened. The information relayed to me and I'm relaying to you is all hearsay. I was not a part of it. I know my boss was not part of it because she was in the room with me.
Okay. Is there a reason that Senator Kelly March Tysono wanted the legislature to recess for 3 hours for lunch?
I cannot speak for her, but I do understand that there may have been certain issues with the committee report that made it end up getting just filed this morning, and yeah.
But then at the end of it all, she tabled it or suspended it or whatever.
Well, I think from my discussions yesterday with GC, I can verify what she said, which is they have requested guidance from the U.S. Department of Justice, the Election Assistance Division. I don't know the exact name of that office within U.S. DOJ, but they have requested for guidance yesterday, and I guess we all just heard that they will be having that discussion and giving that guidance tomorrow. So behind the scenes, we're all trying to reach out to U.S. DOJ to make sure we comply with federal law, because as you are aware, Troy, we got to mail ballots to our heroes, our service members serving all over the world.
So, Chirag, don't you see how viewers might question the competence of senators if they are called into work and then they don't make it into work on time, and when they do make it into work, they're not ready for the job, and then they take a 3-hour lunch break, and then after the 3-hour lunch break, they're 41 minutes late to work, and then they just leave work.
So wait, so these bills are being introduced without them checking the law, that the federal law, the guidelines that we have to follow?
The timelines are Johnny. They're trying to meet the.
It doesn't matter. Before you introduce anything, you need to check the laws first. That don't make no sense. It doesn't matter the time.
I cannot speak.
Isn't there research people in their offices that get paid to do these things?
I cannot speak for anybody else but my office, ma'am. And I can tell you that our office, based on the, I don't know if you can pull up the messages. Every everybody just requested for session on Monday. We granted it on Tuesday.
Would this okay? So I understand that. Would the speaker then, the next time someone requests that she holds session, would she be more discerning about it in the future? Because this seemed to have been, I guess, a big waste
Troy,
of everyone's time.
When the speaker decides that something may or may not be an emergency and certain people disagree with her stance, she gets prosecuted for it too. So now I think our general SOP for the office is to assist everybody equally and facilitate the process, but more than that, like, there's not much I can do about it. Yeah.
Okay.
I cannot speak for other
But
people.
can we go back to the question I asked about, do you guys, would you agree that, or do you understand that people are questioning the competence of their senators, the legislature as a whole, based on the performance today?
I would like to reserve comment on that. I think we're doing the best we can because at the same time, this was not something that in any of our policy meetings last week or even as early as Monday morning was not on the list of things we had intended to do this week, and then the request came in. So I would hope that senators, before they submit requests to this office, they they do all of that.
Is there a reason that the legislature was 35 minutes late to start today at earlier this morning and 41 minutes late to start this afternoon?
I think with regard to this afternoon, again, was because GEC was in the building and they had informed that their meeting with the federal election officials are tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So they were having that discussion. But with regards to this morning, I am not sure. I know the speaker was already in the session hall.
Okay,
and,
so the speaker was there. Was there a quorum issue? Were several senators late to work?
Because of COVID, they don't allow staff members in and out of the session hall anymore. So I cannot speak to that.
So you don't know. Can you ask the speaker if she knew whether there were several senators who were late to arriving at the session hall this morning?
I mean, I definitely can ask her.
Okay, can you get back to us, especially if there's a list of those who were late and caused the session to be
Troy,
late by
I'm not gonna
35
be-
minutes?
I reserve comment on that one too, brother.
No, well, you said you're gonna ask the speaker. So can you call us back with her answer?
Will do.
Thank you. Thanks, Chirag. You have a good day. Bye.
No problem. You take care.
I don't know. I think that's a big deal. You're supposed to be in session at 10 o'clock. You don't start till 10:35. You're 35 minutes late for work. Plus, you didn't even start at 8. You started at 10, like where you're supposed to. And then you're 41 minutes late to from coming back from your 3-hour lunch break. And then you do absolutely nothing. Now, I understand what Chirag's saying. It's not the speaker. It's whoever. Senator Kelly Taitano, Senator Joseph Augustine. They were the ones who made these motions. And from what Chirag is saying, Chirag is with the Speaker's office. He's saying that new information came to light to the authors of these bills that from the Guam Election Commission and from the U.S. Department of Justice, especially on the absentee ballots. I think Senator Kelly March Taitano was not prepared at all to bring her bill up. Mm-hmm. But she asked for an emergency session. Norma Ngakta says, Chirag, stop covering up and making excuses. Just tell Kandit the truth. The Speaker's office, any speaker, is always in the precarious position of having to answer for the mistakes of everyone else. But, really...
Well, that's the joys of being the speaker.
That's the occupational hazard of being the speaker, is you got blamed for everything. Frank Paris says, Johnny's right. This all backdoor, last-minute hoodwinking without researching pre-existing federal regs that dictate election fairness. Thank you, Ann Leon Girl, for watching. Judy May says, second Stimulus Heroes Act already passed both House and Senate. Is scheduled to begin August 8th, similar to that in CARES Act, but this time 17 years old are eligible. The Heroes Act passed the Senate? I didn't know that. That would be Huge news. We'll look that up. Deborah and Joy Beneventi say they on session to decide if they will keep the second stimulus funds for chips and dips for session recess. Eric wants us to iron the curtains. I will not be doing that. I'm just too lazy for something like that. Patrick Ariarty says, thank you very much, candid earthlings. James Howard says that Chirag is lying. DT says Chirag is the worst online help rep. Good afternoon, Vinanshu. Thank you for joining us, boy. Judy May says, hello, I am lost here. Can someone briefly tell me what is going on? Well, I think the senators are lost too. So at least that ends our legislative session coverage today. If you have your alcohol, just drink it all, because the legislature, that was like 30 recesses worth
They're
of
not
stuff.
coming back till Wednesday.
They're not coming back till Wednesday for their emergency session. We'll be back on later tonight, probably around 9 p.m. For Kandit, I'm Troy.
I'm Johnny.
Good day.